Website traffic fingerprinting against Tor traffic. It is possible that Tor is vulnerable to an attack called website traffic fingerprinting, which you may recall I mentioned in the section on VPNs. It is a passive eavesdropping attack that looks at the size and timing of encrypted data streams, where although the adversary only sees encrypted traffic, the adversary can still guess what web page is being visited, because all web pages have specific traffic patterns. They can only guess if they know the pattern of the web page in advance though, so if you're going to pages they were not aware of, they wouldn't have a pattern for it. The content of the transmission is still encrypted and hidden, but to which web page you connect to, or even the site, because they know the page, isn't private or secret anymore. There are multiple research papers, as I have mentioned. From what I have read, I think the attacks against Tor are overstated and not a problem yet, but something definitely to watch. And this is the latest paper that I'm familiar with on the topic of Tor fingerprinting. And for more information on this, there are some links here. To mitigate this, you could use multiple chained anonymizing services and or offsite connections, which we will discuss later. Exit node eavesdropping, this has been mentioned in a couple of videos. Tor by design does nothing to make private the data that comes out of the exit node to the final destination to surf the web. Anyone running an exit node will be able to see all unencrypted traffic, and much worse, inject into that traffic things like zombie super cookies to track you, or malware to try to exploit your device. The obvious mitigation to this is end-to-end encryption, TLS for example, and PGP, etc. Tor does however provide end-to-end encryption when you're using hidden services, or the darknet or the dark web, the .onion servers. There is end-to-end encryption there, making these more private to use than using the surface web. Traffic analysis attacks. Tor has been shown in the past to be susceptible to analysis of the traffic by a passive observer if they can see enough relays. And this is the last report that I found on the subject if you want to read more about traffic analysis attacks. Tor is susceptible to man in the middle and man on the side attacks. This is not really a weakness of Tor, but a weakness of the fundamentals of the internet. An adversary with sufficient means and reach can intercept your requests and respond to them before the destination, fooling you into thinking you are communicating with the real destination. The NSA are known to do this. This is a known technique of the quantum system. Your client would then be subject to active attacks, such as trying to exploit vulnerabilities in your browser and insert zombie super cookies to track you. Tor is susceptible, like anything else, to vulnerabilities in the underlying technology that it uses, and one such vulnerability could be discovered to erode the anonymity of the service. A previous example of a widespread bug is the Heartbleed bug. If you don't run your Tor connection permanently, it's obvious to an observer when you are attempting to do something private or anonymous. This can draw closer attention to when you are using Tor. As we've already discussed, but it is a weakness, relays and bridges can be blocked. It is trivial to block all relays, preventing people from using Tor. It is also not so difficult to block hidden bridges using tools like ZMap. Not really a weakness, but an issue. Ports are blocked. Some ports are blocked by some relays on Tor. Ports you might need to use, for example to get through a firewall, could be blocked by many of the relays. You will then have to use a circuit that is often slower. Directory authorities are a single point of security failure for Tor. This is a known issue. If these directory authorities are compromised, then Tor is fully compromised. DNS leaking. When using other applications with Tor, you risk protocol leaks. This has been demonstrated many times with many applications, including Thunderbird years ago and BitTorrent now. And while on the topic, no BitTorrents on Tor, BitTorrents can leak your IP address. There's a blog post on it here and a research paper if you want to understand more about how BitTorrents leak on Tor. You get captchas pop up, slowing you down, and your language can be preset incorrectly when you're visiting various sites and doing searches. The sites you use and access your accounts with can flag you as being suspicious or having suspicious activity and then block, lock or suspend your accounts because you are using Tor. Maybe the IP address of the exit node has a tainted history, or they may know you're using Tor and they don't like that, or they will see you're from a country that you're not normally from. All of this could be seen as suspicious activity and your account blocked, locked, suspended. That's happened to me. It's a pain. If you see this URL here, this is a list of services blocked by Tor. That is a problem. Tor is blocked by some websites, some destinations that you do want to visit. There is no UDP on Tor. Tor doesn't currently support UDP, although it does provide a DNS port. If you require UDP, Whonix provides a limited workaround for using UDP. And the final weakness is speed. Tor is slower than some privacy/anonymizing services such as VPN and the ClearNet, but Tor is getting much better and much faster, and the latency issues are improving.